I think somebody might need to tell Donald Trump that Canadians love hockey. And one of the things that happens a lot in hockey is you get your teeth knocked out because people skate to center ice, drop the gloves and say, okay, my brother, bring it on. And in this breaking story, that is exactly what Canada has just done today when it comes to Donald Trump and his tariff war. And there's a real possibility, folks, that Donald Trump, when I show you this story in a few seconds, is going to wind up in a ditch, metaphorically, with a t-shirt that says, yeah, I got into a tariff war with Canada, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Oh, and my hair is missing. Before I get to that breaking story, he's also trying to pull this with Mexico and China. And just to give you some perspective on how this is ringing around the world, take a quick look at what China just had to say.
Shifting focus to some international news now, Canada announces retaliatory measure against Trump tariff. China also vows countermeasures. China said it will file a complaint with the World Trade Organization and take corresponding countermeasures over President Donald Trump's decision to impose new tariffs against it.
What are the primary economic and historical reasons that Trump wants to replace income taxes with tariffs particularly, and how is that, challenging in today's economy?
Yeah, so Trump is talking about the 1890s and the early 1900s and looking at that period where we didn't have an income tax yet. Tariffs and other excise taxes were the main source of government revenue, and the government was teensy tiny compared to what it is today. Federal spending as a share of the economy was roughly 2% in that period. Today, it's more than 20%. So the government is 10 times larger. Revenues are significantly higher. And that's the main reason why it's just not really possible to copy paste fiscal policy from the 1890s and have it work in the 2020s.
I'm now joined by CNN News 18 Siddhant Mishra. Siddhant, after Canada, Mexico and now China also saying that there will be countermeasures that will be taken against this decision of Donald Trump at this point.
So all this Donald playing, I'm the tough guy, we're going to get what we deserve, kind of reminds me of this common phrase by one Mr. Michael Buffer, right?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes, so in this breaking story, Canada, just like their hockey players, are ready to rumble. And this breaking story says all you need to know about how they're going to punch back against denigrating, dismissive, disruptive, and not tough Donald Trump. Here it is. Breaking story, Canada to take legal action against U.S. for tariffs. Ottawa, Reuters. Canada will take legal action under the relevant international bodies to challenge the 25% tariffs imposed by the United States on most Canadian goods, a senior government official said on Sunday, calling the tariffs illegal and unjustified. In quotes, we will obviously pursue the legal recourse that we believe we have through the agreements that we share with the United States, the official said, briefing reporters in Ottawa on condition of anonymity. Trump applied a 25% import tariff on all Canadian goods except energy products such as oil and gas and electricity, which will carry a duty of 10% while entering the United States. The 25% tariff will be in effect starting on Tuesday, while the energy tariff will be implemented starting on February 18th. In response, Canada has imposed tariffs on 1,256 products, or 17% of all the products imported from the United States starting on Tuesday. The products including orange juice, peanut butter, wine, beer, motorcycles, cosmetics, and more, which will add up to 30 billion Canadian dollars. Some of the big ones are cosmetics and body care of 3.5 billion, appliances and other household items of 3.4 billion. Pulp and paper products, $3 billion, the official said. The official said the Canadian government considered the move by Trump illegal and said it violates the trade commitments between the two countries under their free trade agreement and under the World Trade Organization. In quotes, If other legal avenues are available to us, they will be considered as well. The U.S. tariffs and the countermeasures taken by Canada will have an effect on the Canadian economy, the official said. The official declined to give us specifics on the impact. Earlier on Sunday, the government said it will provide a mechanism for Canadian businesses to obtain relief from retaliatory tariffs. Under the so-called remission process, Canadian businesses could apply for tariff relief or refunds provided they meet certain conditions. Trump ordered sweeping tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and China, demanding that the countries curb the flow of fentanyl and illegal immigrants, in the case of Canada and Mexico, into the United States. Trump's action began a trade war that could hamper global economic growth and reignite inflation.
Bottles of Kentucky bourbon and Tennessee whiskey are whisked from BC store shelves days before the U.S. tariffs hit.
It's sad. It's a sad state. Our two countries rely on each other. Our economies were interlinked after generations of building together, and it's sad to see that we're here today.
Manitoba liquor marts will pull American products by Tuesday.
This means that we are going to be taking $80 million out of the U.S. economy.
In Ontario, the LCBO is scrubbing American products from its catalog. American distillers say bans in multiple provinces will affect more than $1 billion in cross-border booze trade.
Folks, please understand, I grew up, don't live there now, but I grew up in the rural South. And while I wasn't one who sought out fighting, brother, you push me in a corner, I will. And you have to defend yourself, I get it. But the world stage, the world economy, how we are interwoven with regards to buying and selling. It's not the 19th century like Donald Trump tried to talk about on the campaign trail when there were only tariffs and no income tax. We live in a different world. And instead of focusing on what he should be focusing on, which is the problem with the tax code and no middle class and corporate oligarchy and income inequality, which can be simply resolved in so many ways, except for the fact that all your rich friends don't want you to do it. He's focusing on the one thing that is going to cause actual, real problems, and it goes far beyond, I promise, egg prices, gas prices, and the cost of some good old-fashioned Canadian whiskey. I assure you, these tariff wars are going to have a lot more disruption than just what comes out of your pocket. So pay attention to what's going on with regards to these tariffs and how it actually affects not just pricing, but the axis of how the U.S. is viewed all over the globe. This is going to have some real residual effect we may not care for too much. Thanks, Donnie. Again, in life, not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And I assure you, Donald Trump, this ain't the way. You guys keep talking, stay joyful, enjoy your life, but stay frosty.